sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, the main purpose is this all self-realization. So, understanding ourselves. So, when it comes to that understanding, it is very important be aware regarding your own self-experience. Rather than wasting time with this outside world or the information. So it is very important for you to look yourself and see what is happening within yourself. So that is not becoming egocentric. Egocentric means you becoming self-centered with the greed, hatred and the delusion. But here you become more aware and you have intention to understand what is happening within you. So that is related with the wisdom. Because mainly we have thought, that thinking that ourselves we going to be with others. I just want to tell you a story regarding Venerable Ananda, Buddha's attendant monk. And when the Buddha passed away and all the community of Sangha start to go away from the main place, main temple, and they start to establish according to their own teachers. And the Venerable Ananda was himself alone. And he felt so worried himself because he felt so lonely. And then he reflect himself, I was with the Buddha and he gone. All other, my brother monks, all attain to enlightenment and all gone. Because because that time, that in the first 3 months, he was just an ordinary monk. He didn't attain to enlightenment after Buddha passed away. While he was with the Buddha, he was just an ordinary person, like us. That means ordinary, that the conventional mind he had. So somehow look that he used to live with the Buddha, and he had a lot of brother monks, and they all attained to enlightenment. And then even he knew all the teachings about the Buddha, but still, and he felt so lonely himself, and he was so worried in the first level. So I was thinking that time, and when I was reading that, I was just thinking about our ordinary life. Just think yourself. You have husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters. But we believe that they're going to be with us. But mostly, there is a time come for us to handle our life just with ourselves. No one can help for us. And even look nowadays with this virus. And how about if your husband, wife, children and get infected with this virus, what will happen? So are you going to keep them close to you, same like in ordinary days, or you going to separate that person? And how about that person going to feel? How about if you going to be alone yourself, what you going to do? Because if you addicted to hugging with children, playing with children, and always being with your husband, wife, so that's the ordinary life that we used to be with friends, going out. So is there anything that you you thought to yourself, if something happened to you, how are you going to deal? So then Venerable Ananda start to think, oh, I know this all the meditations and Kayagata Sati and contemplating the bodily activities. And then he start to observe, then he felt more comfortable because he knew all this meditation technique. In the first level, he felt so sad, but then later he determined himself, I have these teachings with me, so I'm going to practice myself. So look, even the person who used to be next to the Buddha. So then how about you? Because this life is not the life in the surface level what we see. And you have no idea what is this body. And you have no idea what is this nature sometimes. Look how advanced this science and technology, that is the word we think advanced. But look, every day, whatever the disease come, and mostly what we heard, what we hear, and the people say, oh, it is a new disease. Don't know, still the report doesn't say what it is. How it is possible? How it become a new disease? So every day when people go to hospitals, most of people say, oh, it is very rare disease. And still the report doesn't come, and even there are some people, they have a disease. Even the doctors cannot give a name for that. How it is possible? Why we don't see this inside us? So then it is very important yourself, even though you have this everybody, even this, you claim this body as you, but there are sometimes this body is kind of like a very serious killer, very dangerous thief. Why I say so? Because in the Dharma it explains the very nature of this body, and you hold, oh, this is me, this is myself. You name this body as yourself. That you believe the spirit or the Atman or the self inside this body. You represent as you this body. But sometimes suddenly, what is happening? You maintaining this, you spending your whole energy and holding to this, and then suddenly what happened? There is a disease come, and there is the cancer rise, and then suddenly paralyzed, get a heart attack. If it is your body, if your Atma or if your self or if your spirit inside you, how you cannot handle that? So like that, sometimes we get into illusion believing this. And we cannot neglect thinking this is not mine. But the very important thing, don't get attached to believing this is yours. That is the point that you have to understand. You can have things without claiming it is yours. Because at least if you start to think in that very moment, your mind not going to settle down there. The very reason why once you settle down from that point, you become center. Once you have the center, from there you start to think about your past and start to think about your future. And that is how all the divisions arise in life. Look at yourself. The mostly all the thoughts and the divisions and the versions arise in our body. How? Because we become centers believing this is me, this is I am. And then from that point, the past and the future, then all other, the viewpoints start to arise. But if you were able to recognize this, The moment that you experience it's a moment by moment itself change, this head to toes, entire body, this moment by moment changing. This body, it's nothing but only the five aggregates. And your feelings is your life. And your sensation is your life. Your thought is your life. Your awareness is your life. There's nothing else. So then, are you aware about it? Because it's always moment by moment change. So that is why Buddha tried to explain to you with the great compassion, because otherwise we hold it to things and believing this is me, my, like that. And then finally, this everything going to disappear. And then you become worried. End of the journey, if you become worried with that unhappy mind, you cannot get into an even better place. So that's why while you living, while you having this, you have to experience the clarity and develop your awareness. And just try to understand yourself, even though you work, do things for your husband, wife, children, friends, and family members. Spend some time yourself and start to develop your mind. And then whenever you are alone and you don't feel lonely, whatever the situation come to your mind, you can handle it yourself. So otherwise nowadays, it doesn't matter that your friends or the family, or look, when if the person have virus, then what will happen? Forget about soulmate. And anymore, now you don't hear that word. And you don't hear anymore the people say, oh, you have a good spirit, you have good energy, you are my soulmate. Nowadays, you don't see that. Why? Because everybody afraid for virus. Is everything go away? So this all ideas mostly, it doesn't make any sense. And now you can experience it yourself. Even when it comes to the most relationships. And it's kind of like we tangle to ideas. There's nothing wrong with anything, but it is your responsibility, yourself, finding your path and becoming better person with the inner clarity. Because this everything, this outside world and inside us, this everything change. And but yourself, if you develop that clarity, and that is the best that you're going to do to other people also. Why? Because then you're not going to clinging to yourself. If you don't clinging to yourself, you not become a stingy person regarding other people. You're not always going to go behind them, and you're not going to disturb or interfere to other people's. So why mostly we ourselves interfere with other people sometimes, not allowing other people to become free, even husband, wife, children, friends, and family, just uh, around us, our own family. So for that, there is something that coming from the history. So when we look at the beginning of the world, there is a sutta called Aganya Sutta. In this Aganya Sutta, that the Buddha explained, it's kind of like like a fantasy. It's like a story that. But if you have time, take time and read about this Aganya Sutta. And it all explained how as a society, this everything came to us like this way. And in this timeline, why this everything happened to us. And you can understand that. So in that Aganya Sutta, the story come like this. There is a time come, this everything going to destroy. And the sun going to blow out, and then it become kind of like the 7 suns around this earth. Then everything going to burn. Even the ocean going to be completely evaporate, and you cannot find any single drop of water. There is a time come. And all this mountain, everything become kind of like dust. Everything are going to become the ashes. And then it's go kind of like a million years, eons years. Then after that, rain going to happen. That rain going to happen for million years. Once the rain stop, what is happening? Then again the sun start to, that the part of the sun and start to come back as one. So that's how the world start to reform again. So then the water little by little becoming ice. And then when the sun rise, the entire earth start to shine in this far away in this universe. Everywhere for other planets it can see like a very shiny bright place. And still, you know, the most of the earth in the ground is related with the water. So somehow when it shine from other planets, divine beings start to look what is this shining star or the planet, and they come here. That's how it is start. It's not like that the revolution happened, the evolution happened with the human, with the monkeys. It is completely different. So somehow then this we just say as aliens or the angels, they come and they start to walk in this the ice earth, and then it's kind of like a melt clay, and then they walking and their body shining and so light, and they no need any kind of food to maintain their body. By why? Because their consciousness is the itself providing the energy. So somehow then they start to inquiry. Inquisitive mind start happen them and see what is this clay ground and what happening. Then they start to question themselves, what is this? And then what they do, and they touch that clay ground and start to touch and taste it. And that is the time people they get addicted to taste, and from there they start to eat it. And what is happening, that shiny light body and start to become rough and heavy, and then anymore they cannot go back, and they're going to settle down here. So that's how the human being and came to this planet. So it is in Aganya Sutra, so like that. And the important thing what I want to mention, so from there then all this the things happen so far in this our life, that the people behavior change. So somehow the very beginning they had this inquisitive mind to inquiry things and taste. If you look very carefully, and we have that mindset is still within us. Mostly when you eat, why you eat? And sometimes you don't eat because of the hunger, because you want to taste, you want to see, you want to look what this is. And this inquisitive mindset, and wherever we go, we always have this wonder mind. We questioning, asking. If somebody just keep even looking out of, then other people come and ask, what you looking? And wherever you go, if one person just stop somewhere and start to look even the tree or something, then after a few minutes you see the few people come around it and start to look. That is inquisitive mind. So when the tranquility state, that is the first thing you take out. Why? Because this inquisitive mind said that the habit of this inquiring, questioning, is the one of the hindrance that hold us to this samsara. So then you yourself in day-to-day life slowly try to drop down that ability, because it is inherent with us. It is inside us. Wherever you go. And so don't try to taste food. And if you're hungry, eating good, it's okay. So as you know, when you go to mall and when you go to Costco, and you see there are some people, it always they give food to taste. And people like where they just go to buy something, but when they see it, they like to taste it. That came from the first time. Remember that the other deities came from other planets and start their life here. That is the very reason they stuck in this ground. So wherever you go, if you try to taste, remember, you're going to stuck with there. And then you go and buy, oh, this is so tasty, and then you buy it. And then you start to eat it. And then you keep eating it. So like that, it go step by step. So get out of this inquisitive mind, this inquiring or questioning mind. This always research. People like this word, research. And it is one of the way that it holds us to this samsara. So remember it when you look at the history, that and even yourself when you'll see, you will understand. There are a lot of unnecessary situations you create because you just want to taste it. You just want to try it. And a lot of people, and when we talk with these young people and addicted people with the drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, so like that. The very first time, when I ask how you get into this, the very first time, and they just say, I just want to try. I thought just to try it. So that is the most dangerous thing. So the thing is this, if you become mindful and if you know about it, then it is okay. But if you don't know and you go to something to try something, and maybe it's going to turn your whole life to a different path. So then from today, remember, especially with the food. Why? Because that intake ourselves with the day-to-day life, that I know it is not easy for yourself, but have a discipline yourself. And it is a very good conscious step yourself to uplift your awareness. If you're hungry, you eat, but try to stay away from tasting the food. That like, everywhere people have wine tasting. And if you want to drink wine, you drink wine, but tasting wine is the catch. So remember, like that, wherever you go, if you're hungry, you eat. But don't try to taste, because if you taste it, it is danger than the hunger, because that taste can take you entire your life, you stuck with it. So that is the one lesson that we can get from our ancestors. And I was reading about it, and I was thinking, I was observing deeply, and I saw what happened to them. So then yourself remember, that is where we come from. It is in our DNA. So if you try to taste, if you try to test, remember, it is something. But when you become mindful and aware yourself and do something with the clear understanding, knowingly, then you can take exit very easily. But without knowingly, once you go, and it going to tackle you. So that's why be careful yourself. And so with that, I want to tell you a story. And there was a person, and he went to temple and asked from monks about meditation. And then the monk start to teach him for foundation, satipatthana, contemplating the body and contemplating the pain, contemplating the mind, and contemplating the nature. So he start to practice meditation, and little by little he able to recognize and come to a point to recognize that to different of these five aggregates, and how this everything change moment by moment, and feelings, and according to sensations, and with eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, how the consciousness change. Because what if the eye consciousness cannot recognize the whatever come to ear consciousness. So like that is a different. It is very sharp to and difficult to tackle. So somehow he was practicing now more and more meditation. And then what happened? His wife got so mad one day and came and kicked him and told, go to market and bring something to eat. And you always practice meditation. So he went to market, and then he brought certain things. And on the way, he saw some beggars and some needy people and asking food. And then, so somehow whatever he bought, and little by little on the way, and he used to give to people because he had a great compassion. And when he see these people, and he couldn't go without giving something. So what happened by the end, when he come to home, he had only sugar cane in his hand. So then he gave that sugar cane to his wife. And the wife got so mad. You went to market to bring something to eat, and you just bought this sugar cane. Are you insulting me like I am an elephant? And then what she did, she hit with the sugar cane to his head, and his head broken here. And then you know that the sugar cane, when it is squeezed, and the the sugar, the honey come, so it break into two parts. And then he took one part and told, oh, now it is good, one part for you and one part for me. And then somehow when it hit the forehead, what happened? Drop of honey came out of it, sugar honey. And then it came, and now he have the pain. And he observing the pain, and it came and through his nose, and it came to his lips, and it touched his tongue. And he recognized the taste. So from pain, body consciousness, it changed to tongue consciousness. So it is a moment he recognized the difference in between the consciousness, and he attained to enlightenment. So in every pain, in every struggle, in every difficulty, in every fight, there is a drop of honey. If you are able to find that fight, that struggle, that argument, that hit, and that pain going to transform you to enlightenment. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhiti gayuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkayavahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.